My name is Josephine Scott Lauderdale. I am the daughter of Captain James D. Scott and Laura Gray Scott. Neither of them could be here this evening, so I have come to share a bit about them instead. Captain Scott was born in Spring Hill, Tennessee, and later moved to North Alabama. After completing his schooling, he traveled some before establishing a tailoring business in Mooresville, Alabama, with Levin Gray as his business partner. During this time, he met Levin's sister, Lauren Ann Gray. Laura Gray was born on her father's plantation called Shall Ford, near Mooresville, Alabama. Her father ensured that she had an elaborate education for her day, attending boarding school and the female college in Athens. When she returned, she met James D. Scott. The two were married a short time later. In 1850, all ours and Uncle Levin's families moved to Fayetteville, where Father and Levin built the first two commercial buildings on the square, but it was destroyed by the 1851 cyclone. In the 1850s, Uncle Levin absconded with his business capital, leaving Father to cover his debts. To avoid the shame of bankruptcy, everything we possessed, save for the clothes we wear in the baby's cradle, was sold at public auction. It was a difficult time, and made that much worse when my brother tragically died a few years later. We all grieved deeply. In 1861, the war began. Despite having no military experience, he organized Company C of the 41st TN and was elected captain. Unfortunately, he and his company were captured at the surrender of Fort Donelson in 1862 and was spent several months in a prison camp. He survived disease and starvation, was eventually exchanged at Vicksburg. He resigned his commission with the 41st and joined Jen, Forest Cavalry Escort. In the following campaigns, his horse was shot out from under him and had to have his right leg amputated. Following his recovery, he was strapped into his saddle and continued to ride with Forrest until their surrender at Gainesville. During his absence, life in Fayetteville was difficult for us. I grew up overnight to help the family endure. I learned cookery and mastered survival skills of which my mother knew little. With my resourcefulness and mother's calm, cheerful attitude, we weathered those trying times. When Father returned, he was a broken man, aged beyond his years. But he quickly returned to some semblance of his former life. He began tailoring again. He was elected trustee of Lincoln County for several terms and served as senior warden and master of Mason's Lodge. He died in 1884, leaving no debts, which was quite an accomplishment. Mother followed him in 1919.
Is Old Sam. Old Sam is buried right here in this mausoleum. It's the only mausoleum left standing in the cemetery. There are a couple legends that go around Old Sam. The first one is that Old Sam loved his rocking chair so much he wanted to be buried in it. So they put him in his rocking chair and then built the mausoleum around him. And they also say that at night, on a cold night, you can go up and if you listen real close, you might still hear Old Sam rocking away. The other one is a little less exciting. Fayetteville was built over a series of tunnels, and there are several entrances around the county that let out in the Elk River, and one legend is that this is another entrance to those tunnels. We're never going to know because obviously we're not going to take this apart, but those are the two legends of Old Sam.